Ang susunod na programa ay rated PG. Patnubay at gabay ng magulang ay kailangan sa mga batang manonood.
Balitaktakan,
Tinig ng
Kinabukasan. When I say P, you say? When I say L, you say? When I say M, you say? Hands up, Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila! Yes, grabe ang tindi ng energy. Flex na flex yun na. Ngayon ay nagbabalik kami PLM Harry Bonds. Let's pump it up! Handa na ba kayo sa talakayang may talino, may tapang, at may puso? Because today, we're turning your opinions into a battle of ideas. Hindi lang basta tagisan ng salita, kundi tagisan din ng paninindigan at pangangatwiran. Welcome to Balitaktakan, Tinig ng Kinabukasan. Ito ang debate na may kasamang adrenaline rush, ang atake. Hindi lang tayo basta magpapalitan ng mga opinyon dahil this is your safe space to speak your mind and challenge your ideas. Ako po si Princess Jordan. At syempre, makakasama rin natin ngayon ang ating Gen Z Kada partner, Faith Santiago.
Hello mga Gen Z Karas! Wow, sobrang solid talaga ng energy ng mga Haribons dito na ready mag-listen, react at mag-give ng hot takes nila para sa topic of the day. Ihahatid ko rin sa inyo ang latest buzz and reactions mula sa ating online community. Ako po si Faith Santiago! Ayan, solid na solid talaga yung energy, princess. Kaya wag na tayo magpatumpik-tumpik pa. Let's get it!
Salamat, Faith! Naku, hindi naman makukumpleto ang balitaktakan kung wala ang ating mga panelists na magbibigay ng matalinong opinyon at magiging gabay natin sa talakayan. Let's welcome our panel. First up, former National Capital Region, Liga ng mga Barangay President and current Councilor of the 2nd District of Marikina City, Mr. Zefred Anceta. Makakasama rin natin si Professor Concepcion Demos, ang chairperson ng Department of Social Work, College of Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences dito mismo sa PLN. And last but not the least, Dr. Marilyn Harry, a registered guidance counselor and guidance services specialist of PLN. Kilalanin naman natin ang dalawang teams mula sa PLM na magtutuos ngayong araw. Unahin natin ang Team Affirmative.
Hello everyone, I'm Daniel Amber Dagami, College of Law from Moot Court and Debate Society, and I am excited for this intellectual discourse, hoping that a potential or future debater from behind the screen would be inspired to also take a stand. Thank you so much.
I am Chanel Joy G. Oliverio from College of Law, Moot Court and Debate Society. My message to the debater is that debating is an advocacy. Put your heart, love, effort, and time with it, and winning comes along the way.
Hi, I'm Lucy Marie Avalo, College of Law, Moot Court and Debate Society. I rest my case after I win.
Team Negative, let's go!
I'm Christian Seth M. Shaw from the College of Public Administration, and I might just be a first year, but the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
I'm Drew Clarence A. Basadre from the College of Information Systems and Technology Management, and my message to our competitors is that even though our argument or debate is for the betterment of society, all roads will inevitably lead to us. Good luck.
My name is Krisha Nicola Kuman from the College of Science, Chemistry, and I just want to remind you that every argument you make only brings us closer to the truth. Good luck!
Bago magsimula ang sagupaan ng mga ideya, panoorin muna natin ang mechanics ng Balitaktakan.
Dalawang grupo na binubuo ng tig-3 estudyante o speakers ang magtatagisan ng talino at galing, ang Team Affirmative at Team Negative. Bibigyan ng tig-1 minuto ang team leader ng bawat grupo para sa kanilang opening statement. Mayroong tig-1.5 minuto ang bawat speaker para ipresenta ang kanilang argumento. Maaaring humingi ng opinyon o komento ang host mula sa mga panelista kaugnay ng pinagdedebatihang issue. May tig-3 minuto ang bawat grupo para magtanong sa kabilang panig. May pagkakataon din silang sumagot at depensahan ang kanilang punto. Kapag masyado nang mainit ang balitaktakan, patutunugin ng bell bilang senyales ng cool-down moment. Magtatapos ang balitaktakan sa pagbibigay ng tig-1 minutong closing statement ng dalawang teams. Magkakaroon ng deliberasyon para suriin ang performance ng bawat team. Pipili ang mga panelista ng best debater at best team base sa mga sumusunod na pamantayan. Content and reasoning, 40%. Delivery and presentation, 40%. Audience impact, 20%. For a total of 100%.
Mga kabalitaktakan, ready na ba kayo? Sa dami ng sakuna at kalamidad na naranasan ng ating bansa, marami sa ating mga kababayan ang nasiraan ng bahay, nawala ng trabaho at kabuhayan. Pero buti na lang, may mga programa ang ating pamahalaan para matulungan ang mga nasalanta at nawala ng hanap buhay. Pag-uusapan natin ngayon ang Cash for Work Program ng Department of Labor and Employment o DOLE na tupad o tulong panghanap buhay sa ating mga disadvantaged o displaced workers. Dapat ba o hindi ito dapat ma-institutionalize? Paano nga ba makatutulong ang tupad program sa ating mga kababayan? Let's watch this video.
Sa bawat unos, mababagyo, lindol, pandemya o pagputok ng bulkan, maraming Pilipino ang biglaang nalulugmok dahil sa pagkawala ng kabuhayan. Ang pamahalaan handang tumugon upang tulungan ang mga apektadong manggagawa. Katunayan, may mga programang ipinatupad para agarang makaalalay sa kanila. Isa na rito ang tulong panghanap buhay sa ating disadvantaged or displaced workers o TUPAD. Ano nga ba ito? Ang TUPAD ay ang Cash for Work program ng Department of Labor and Employment na nagbibigay ng pansamantalang trabaho at sahod sa mga taong nawala ng hanap buhay dahil sa krisis o kalamidad. Sa pamamagitan nito, maaaring makabawi ang mga pamilya sa pansamantalang kita habang bumabangon mula sa sakuna. Malaking bagay din ito dahil nakakatulong sila sa komunidad gaya ng gardening and seedling production, pagpipintura, cleanup drives, declogging of canals and drainage, chicken feeding, cooking, food preparation, at iba pa. Maaring makinabang ang informal sector workers na may edad 18 pataas. Kabilang dito ang mga underemployed, displaced at self-employed basta't hindi empleyado ng gobyerno. Ayon sa DOLE, mahigit 400,000 Pilipino na ang natulungan ng tupad noong third quarter ng 2025. Pansamantala man ang trabaho, permanenteng marka at bagong pag-asa ang handog ng tupad. Batid ng Kongreso ang kahalagahan nito. Kaya naman, inihain ni natingong party list representatives Yedar Marie Romualdez, Andrew Julian Romualdez at Jude Asidre nitong 20th Congress ang House Bill 2985 o Tupad Act para ma-institutionalize ang programa. Katulad na panukalang batas din ang naihain kabilang ang House Bills 86, 2605, 4155, 4515, 5076, 5453 at 5889. Ang tanong, dapat nga bang ma-institutionalize ang cash forward program ng DOLE na tupad? Gaano ba ito kaepektibo sa pagtulong sa mga manggagawang nawala ng trabaho? Ikaw, pabor ka ba o hindi pabor? Ang tinig ng kabataan ating pakinggan dahil ang bawat argumento may punto.
Pag-institutionalize sa Cash for Work program ng DOLE na tulong panghanap buhay sa ating mga disadvantaged o displaced workers o tupad. Pabor o hindi pabor? Sinong team nga ba ang may pinakasolid na pangangatwiran dahil ang bawat argumento may punto? Let's begin! Team Affirmative!
Ladies and gentlemen, we stand firmly on the affirmative side of the motion to institutionalize tupad, tulong panghanap buhay para sa ating displaced and disadvantaged workers. The motion asks whether Congress should enact a law that would make tupad a permanent statutory program rather than a temporary DOLE initiative. It provides short-term emergency employment for vulnerable and informal sector workers. First, let us define institutionalization. It means to convert a temporary program into a permanent legally mandated one. And to legislate is the power to enact laws within constitutional mandates, which means that the institutionalization of tupad would lead to two things: legal structure and overall structure. This includes accountability rules, eligibility and benefits, and statutory oversight. 13 million plus Filipino workers had been reliant on this. Just imagine, ladies and gentlemen, providing sustainable income while ensuring that their protection is the paramount of consideration. Let us feel for our Filipino workers, for they are the soul of progress and ambition. Thank you so much.
All right, let's hear it from Team Negative.
Ladies and gentlemen of the House, huwag niyo ho kaming masamain. We oppose this motion not because we reject helping the poor, but because we reject institutionalizing a system that keeps the poor from political profit. We rest our case in three clauses. First, the institutionalization of patronage. Tupad has mutated into a legalized vote buying, commission of audit reports, overflowing thousands of ghost beneficiaries with double dippings. By making this permanent, we are not building a safety net. We are funding permanent campaign war chests for local incumbents who use these slots to reward loyalty, not to alleviate poverty. Second, economic illusion of dead-end jobs. This bill prioritizes consumption over capacity. We are spending billions on a 10-day street sweeping gigs while slashing the budget for TESDA scholarships and genuine skill training. We are choosing to give our people fish for 10 days instead of teaching them to fish for a lifetime. This is not development, it is dependency. Thirdly, bureaucratic redundancy. Tupad duplicate social aid managed for DSWD and infrastructure DPW.
All right! Narinig na natin ang mga paunang punto ng ating mga kabataan sa bawat panig. Bago tayo tuluyang magbalitaktakan, let's check muna ang vibe ng ating audience, pati ng netizens. Ano na nga ba ang real tea nila tungkol sa isyong ito? Take it away, Faith!
Simable Princess, kahit saan ako tumingin dito, talagang merong mga opinyong nahihintay marinig. Di ba mga Gen Z Kadas? Kaya ngayon, pakinggan natin kung ano ang opinion nila doon sa nagsisimula pa lang na sumisiklab na balitaktakan. Hi, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Ramil.
Ramil. Ramil, pabor ka ba o hindi sa pag-institutionalize ng tupad program?
For me, I'm not in favor of the institutionalization kasi sabi nga nung opposition that nagiging ano siya, susi or key to being an over-independency ng mga nagtutupad. And there are even rumors na parang ginagamit na lang ito ng mga tao dun sa mababang government na yung mga kakilala lang nila at hindi yung mismong talagang mahihirap ang nagtutupad.
Oh, so hindi lang daw mismo yung mga mahirap ang nabibigang tupad, parang tupad program. Ayan. So next naman, etong katabi ko. Gusto ko din malaman kung ano ang kanyang opinion. Hello, what's your name?
Chris po.
Chris? Ayan, Chris. Tell me, pabor ka ba o hindi sa pagpapa-institutionalize ng tupad program?
Ako rin po, di po ako pabor po. Magiging pabor lang po ako if yung paggamit po ng tupad po is hindi po naaabuso po. As someone po na dapat po magtutupad before is pinapamigay lang po nila sa mga kamag-anak po lang po nila instead of pinapamigay po talaga nila sa mga may hirap po talaga. And if ginagamit po talaga, saan po napupunta po? Yun lang po.
Ayun, so halos parehas sila ng opinion. And I think magandang talakayin yun, no? Na parang paano natin mapapasaayos ang sistema sa pagpapa-institutionalize ng tupad program kung gagawin man iyon. Balik sa inyo dyan, Princess.
Salamat, Faith! Marami pa tayong pag-uusapan sa pagbabalik ng Balitaktakan, Tinig ng Kinabukasan.
Kailangan yun. Dahil wala silang hanap buhay. O anong kakainin ng mga tao? Saan kukuha ng gagastusin araw-araw? O kaya kailangan talaga ang tulong ng gobyerno.
Hindi. Hindi yung epektibo yun. Ang kailangan ng manggagawa, tulungan. Dapat gumawa sila ng panibago. Yung mga bibigyan ng mga tamang trabaho para mas makakatulong sila.
Pansamantala lang din naman kasi yan eh. Mas maganda parang talaga yung regular na trabaho kaysa sa paano-ano lang.
Pabor din kasi mas maganda matutukan nila yung mga walang trabaho para hindi sila nakakagawa ng mali or masama. Hindi sila nakakagawa ng krimen.
Be informed of the top news of the day, from the local headlines to international stories that matter to the lives of every Filipino. Delivered with credibility and integrity by anchors William Teo and Angela C. 13 News, Monday to Friday, 9:30 p.m. only on IBC 13.
Sa Balitaktakan, Tinig ng Kinabukasan. Mga kabalitaktakan, humanda na sa sagubaan ng mga ideya. Labanan ito ng talino, tapang at convincing power. Ang boses ng kabataan, pakinggan natin. Pag-institutionalize ng cash for work program ng DOLE na tupad. Pabor o hindi pabor? Ilatag na ang inyong mga pananaw dahil ang bawat argumento may punto. Team Affirmative, your time starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, referencing Article 2, Section 9 of the Constitution, it is the duty of the state to provide people, to free people from poverty through policies that promote full employment and rising standard of living and quality of life for all. So right now, we have two modes of TUPAD application. First is through DOLE direct application and second is through accredited co-partners, wherein anomalies such as ghost beneficiaries, misappropriations of funds reportedly begin. So with that, we we address this with our proposed mechanism, which is to restructure the role of the ACP or the accredited co-partners, limiting it to the implementation of the program only. But the sole power to first accept applications, eligibility and background check, and release salary is on DOLE alone. So why do we need this now more than ever? It is because, like you, we recognize that there are flaws in this system and we wouldn't want to turn a blind eye to it, which is why institutionalization means having structure, expecting accountability in case of abuse. Third, securing the future of our dearest workers in cases of emergency without leaving them hopeless or abruptly taking not just source of income but also fair chance of survival, which is why this is not an option, ladies and gentlemen. The government owes security of tenure and welfare to our dearest Filipinos. We should not turn a blind eye to it but rather find actively find.
Maraming salamat, Team Affirmative. Now, Team Negative, it's your turn.
Cash for Work programs is not only a Band-Aid solution, but a Band-Aid that doesn't even stick in the first place. Cash for Work programs, specifically TUPAD, is known to have a background of systemic faults and loopholes that are not only broken, but costly in their nature. An audit report by COA in 2023 states that 609 were reported to be unqualified beneficiaries. Doing the math, that's well over 3.4 million pesos given to those who are not even deserving of it in the first place. And the worst part, that number is just audited by one province. If one province gave out that much money loosely, how about the entire scope? What more if it becomes institutionalized? If we were to institutionalize a program that systematically suffers from unqualified beneficiaries, it wouldn't fix the systemic faults through larger annual budgets or nationwide scaling, but it further expands these problems into a larger, more costlier scale. We recognize the good intentions that Cash for Work programs deliver, but it is simply too idealistic because it is inconsiderate with the status quo of our nation that is riddled with faults and issues. Until these faults are circumvented, institutionalization will only seek to enlarge the whole of our systemic faults due to its rooted nature in idealism rather than the realism of their status quo. For these reasons, we reject this motion.
Salamat, Team Negative. Grabe, umpisa pa lang pero kitang-kita na natin ang magandang paglatag ng bawat punto ng bawat grupo. Bagamat meron nga itong flaws, itong TUPAD program ay kinikilala rin naman ng Team Affirmative ito at willing naman sila to work on with. While on the Team Negative side, whether it's a band-aid solution or not, malalaman pa natin ang iba't ibang mga punto at of course yung analyzation and of course ang opinion ng ating mga panelists. Para ipagpatuloy ang palitan ng mga punto, pakinggan natin ang second speaker ng Team Affirmative.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest here. Imagine losing your job, but not the fact that you failed, but the world around you collapse. Maybe for the reason of pandemic, typhoon, or even economic crisis. You go home to an empty plate and worried children. Now, this is the reality of millions of displaced Filipino workers in our country, and yet the program designed to help them, TUPAD remains disorganized, temporary, subject to corruption, and easy to manipulate. We cannot allow this. This is why we institutionalize TUPAD. Permanent legislation helps ensures strict oversight. Again, it helps ensures strict oversight and closes the loopholes to those allows fake claims, ghost beneficiary, because it helps the people who truly need it. That is why we need TUPAD in our life. So again, fellow citizen, fellow debaters, this is not a charity, this is justice. Every day is a delay. Every day when we delay is a day we abandon this Filipino citizen. Make it permanent. Institutionalize TUPAD now. Make it real. Because no fellow Filipino should ever left behind. And I thank you.
Maraming salamat, Team Affirmative. And for the second speaker for Team Negative, let's go!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen and esteemed panelists. This government wants to legislate a temporary band-aid solution that turns it into a permanent national policy. This is irresponsible, unsustainable, and economically unsound. We in the opposition stand for a long-term job creation, not the illusion of employment. First and foremost, TUPAD does not reduce unemployment. It only hides it temporarily. After 30 to 90 days, beneficiaries are back to being unemployed. Legislating it creates an illusion of progress, not real labor force integration. TUPAD is a band-aid, not a cure. If we want to help people, we should go on unconditional cash. First of all, we have this DSWD assistance to individual in crisis situation. This program provides financial assistance to people facing crisis. This includes educational aid for students who are breadwinners or children of unemployed parents. And also, this is the reason why we should not legislate TUPAD. We should provide unconditional cash to people who suffers from crisis, not making them work or clean up instead of to rebuild themselves first. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Second speaker from Team Negative. Now let's hear it from the third speaker of Team Affirmative.
Ladies and gentlemen, we stand before you today only for 3 reasons. First, because institutionalizing TUPAD is a mandatory state requirement and obligation. And second, it minimizes corruption and addresses its failed implementation. And lastly, it upholds the principle that those who have less in life should have more in law. The government has spent billions of pesos for this program, and it's helped millions of Filipino people. But this massive investment yields temporary employment while we recognize the negative side's contention that TUPAD is full of corruption, anomalies, and failed implementation. This is precisely the reason why the affirmative side believes that it must be institutionalized, because in institutionalization, TUPAD program will become permanent, it will become a policy, and the people will be able to have a greater future in this. And here in our policy, DOLE will be the one to choose its beneficiaries. And also, those accredited partners will be the one to implement, only to implement the program. And DOLE will be the one to distribute wages for its beneficiaries. Let us stop the 10 to 90 days TUPAD program. Let now focus on the people, that those who have less in life should have more in law. A law for the people, a law, TUPAD. Let's make TUPAD a law. That would be all.
Thank you so much. That's the last from the Team Affirmative. Ngayon naman, ang ikatlong speaker mula sa Team Negative, ating pakinggan.
Honorable Chair, the affirmative paints a picture of a safety net. But please, reality shows us a sieve. We argue that this motion is practically unenforceable and operationally disastrous. First, the machinery of implementation is fundamentally broken. They say that they propose a mechanism, but that already happens in the status quo, and we already know that is flawed and is broken. Second, you cannot build a permanent institution on a foundation of fraud. The current system is already plagued by ghost beneficiaries, names on a payroll who does not exist, and the ever-rampant kickbacks and favored lace conditions to its beneficiaries. Institutionalizing TUPAD does not fix these holes. It only simplifies or guarantees a permanent budget for leakage. Second, it creates administrative chaos. The bill demands that the Department of Labor function as a social welfare agency, duplicating the existing mandates of DSWD, maintenance duties of DPWH. It's administratively impracticable to pay 3 different agencies to perform the same function. We are creating red tape, not relief. Third and lastly, it's fiscally unsustainable. Practicality demands a return on investment, and pouring billions on a 10-day street sweeping gigs yields zero long-term economic output. We are stripping funds from TESDA, which builds career, mind you, to fund the program that barely sustains survival. Mr. Speaker or Ms. Speaker, a program that cannot be secured, cannot be managed, yields no long-term solution. It is a burden, therefore we oppose. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all of our debaters. Reminder lang, mga Gen Zikadas, friendly sagupaan tayo. Hindi tayo bardagulan malala. We need to keep it smart, keeping it respectful, and of course, keeping it real. Ngayon naman, pakinggan natin ang reaksyon ng ating panelist. Councilor Ziff, sino sa tingin nyo ang mas nakaka-convince na so far?
Isang mapagpalang at mainit na balitaktakan sa lahat, no? Nag-uusap nga kaming tatlo. Grabe. Isa bang dapat ibatas ba ito? O dapat hindi? Baka mag-cause ng isang korupsyon pagitan ba ng isang Pilipino? O isang bagay na dapat gawin itong batas para mas ma-hold back o magbigay ng isa pang tamang batas para sa mga taong nakikinabang para dito. So ngayon ay wala pa tayo sa kalagitnaan. Ang nais pa lang mas marinig kung ano yung manners ng bawat nagdidebate sa panahon ng pagbabalangkas o pagsasabi ng mga salita ninyo. Pangalawa, ito ba ay legally o database bang yung sinasabi o ito ba isang katang isip? So sana sa pag-release niyo sa isa pang YouTube natin as mas lumabas pa ang karapat-dapat, ito ba ay kapakinabangan ng bawat Pilipino o minsang pinipili lang ng ibang mga politiko? So maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat, Councilor Zef. Ano naman ang insight ninyo sa talakayan ng naging palitan ng dalawang panig, Professor Concepcion?
Para sa akin, no, mas nakakumbinsi ang mga naghatid, no, at naglatag ng kanilang ideya sa paraan na mas naiintindihan kung paano ang tono, ang pananalita, at mas malinaw ang dating ng mensahe na gustong ipaliwanag, no, or ipaglaban. No? At isa rin sa nakita ko ay yung engagement. No? Yung engagement ng bawat isa kung paano rin gustong iparating ang mensahe o ang kanyang stand, kung affirmative or negative. At nakita ko rin yung teamwork, no? Isa yon sa tinignan ko rin kanina, kung paano rin dinadala ng bawat isa ang kanilang grupo. So para sa akin, hintayin natin yung susunod pa na talakayan. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Professor. And last but not the least, Dr. Marilyn, ano po ang inyong masasabi?
Ayan, tunay ngang napakagaling ng ating parehong yung ating affirmative at saka yung sa ating negative or yung team negative. So dahil sa galing ng ating mga debater, napakahirap mag-decide kung ang tupad ba ay kinakailangan nating institutionalize or ito ba ay kailangan na nating itigil. So, nakita ko kung paano nila present yung tinatawag natin na systemic and cultural problem na nangyayari sa mga programa ng ating gobyerno. So, nakita rin natin kung ano yung mga challenges regarding sa implementation, administrative, dun sa governance and corruption, at yung paano ba natin i-address yung mga issue. Specifically, yung kung ito ba ay kinakailangan nating ipagpatuloy na hindi lang hanggang 90 days, no? Kung hindi, ito ay ipagpatuloy na hindi tinatawag na band-aid solution. So, I think kailangan nating tingnan, no? Yung listing, verification, paano minomonitor, kung paano nagiging aware ang mga Pilipino sa programa na ino-offer ng ating gobyerno. So sa ngayon, tingnan natin kung ano pa yung magiging debate, no? Pero napakahirap pumili kung talagang kailangan ba itong i-institutionalize or kailangan na itong itigil dahil ito ay nagiging band-aid solution lamang.
Okay, maraming salamat sa ating mga panelists. Ngayon, ano naman ang say ng ating audience? Faith?
Yes, Princess, sobrang linis at straightforward ng palitan ng dalawang teams na ito, no? Gaya na lang ng gusto nating way sa pagbibigay serbisyo sa ating mga mamamayang Pilipino. Pero ngayon, gusto kong malaman ang nasa isip at puso ng ating mga Gen Z kadas. Tulad na lang ni Kuya right over there. Oh, okay, Kuya, can you tell me your name?
Matthew po.
Hello, Matthew. Gusto ko lang matanong sa'yo. Sa palitan kanina ng dalawang teams, ano ang nasa opinion mo?
So, pagkatapos ko pakinggan yung statement ng both team, mas tumatak sa akin yung argumento ng affirmative side, yung under our constitution na Article 2, Section 9, yung kailangan talaga yung magbigay ng social program yung ating estado, and matuturing din naman natin itong mga social program as economic stimulator na magbe-benefit din naman yung ating buong bansa. Din lang ba po?
Thank you so much, Matthew. Very attentive siya, no? Nakabisado niya yung mga numbers. Ako parang hindi ko nakabisado yun. Pero meron ding tumatak sa akin, no, na yung pagbibigay ng pag-institutionalize ng Tupad program ay hindi lang siya charity kundi justice daw sa mga mamamayang Pilipino. Ngayon naman dito tayo sa kabilang dako, 'di ba? Magkabilang dako sila. Eto, gusto kitang matanong. Kuya, what's your name?
I'm Arnie John po.
Okay, Kuya, can you please stand up? Ayan, I want to know, what is your opinion regarding the two teams?
With regards naman po sa both teams, although maganda yung side na nirepresenta nila, ang tumatak sa akin syempre yung sa negative side kasi sa panahon ngayon sa gobyerno natin, ang nangyayari kasi is yung pamahalaan natin is nagpe-prey upon sa mga may hirap na tao, and syempre dahil nga sa sa mga nasabi nila with regards sa fiscal responsibility ng bansa, hindi nagiging fiscally hindi nagiging maayos yung pamamahala ng gobyerno.
Thank you so much. That was very insightful, no? Tulad ng pagiging magkabilang dako nila, ay talagang magkabaliktad din ang kanilang opinion. Pero that is a very important kasi mas nabibigyan tayo ng chance para mag-isip. At going naman sa ating online community, tara basahin natin. Ang sabi ni Kisha Santillan, pabor, malaking bagay ang tupad. May pangtustos kahit papaano. Hindi naman pabor si Tin de los Reyes at sinabing sana mas bigyan ng focus yung pang long-term na tulong at hindi band-aid solution. Ito naman, agree naman si Akio Tamama. Pabor, dahil malaking tulong talaga ang tupad sa mga nawalan ng trabaho. At para naman kay Clay Veloso, pabor, dahil ang tupad ang sagot habang naghahanap ng bagong trabaho. At yan muna ang latest mula sa pulso at reaksyon ng taong bayan. Balik sa'yo, Princess.
Salamat, Faith! Nako, mas malalim na diskusyon na natalakayan ang aabangan pa sa pagbabalik ng Balitaktakan, Tinig ng Kinabukasan.
Dapat, kung tumutulong talaga sila, lahat, iniisa-isa nila. Hindi yung pabalik-balik na sila na lang ang pinagwawalis nila.
Opo. Kasi kagaya niya yung mga sa walang trabaho, lalong-lalo na sa tupad. Kasi dito sa amin, marami talaga ang nangangailangan ng trabaho.
Araw-araw, tutukan ang mga maiinit na talakayan. Subaybayan ang mga diskusyon ng mga usaping napapanahon. Silipin ang mga ipinapasang mga panukalang batas na may direktang epekto sa ating araw-araw na buhay. Kilalanin ang bawat kinatawan na may tungkuling magtaguyod ng kapakanan ng kanilang nasasakupan. Congress TV, Lunes hanggang Linggo.
Nagpapatuloy ang Balitaktakan, Tinig ng Kinabukasan. Mga kababayan, sa puntong ito, masusubukan talaga ang talas at bilis ng isip ng ating mga debaters. Dito natin makikita kung sino talaga ang ready sa puksaan. Time for interpellation. Team Negative, you may begin.
Do you agree that Tupad program has systemic faults and issues?
Yes, of course we agree. That's why we need to institutionalize it. There are flaws. This is disorganized. It's easy to manipulate and subject to corruption.
So your logic is basically we should institutionalize it and then fix the problem?
Yes.
Isn't that reverse thinking?
No, that's That's why we provide mechanism. Again, you did not listen to our mechanism earlier. When you make a policy or enact a law, you provide a mechanism. And one of our mechanism and one of the root issue is this is the ACP, the accredited co-partners of the DOLE. There are two modes of implementation, and one of our mechanism is the implementation must be directed from the DOLE only.
Are you aware that what the mechanism that you have proposed is happening right now in the status quo in one way or another, although imperfect?
We have already provided a revised mechanism. If you really listen to our mechanism, first of all, she wouldn't be citing the argument about the 10 to 90 days because our aim is permanence. Why cite temporariness? Another one is if you really listen to us, why would we question the risk of dependency when there is eligibility requirements based on the status quo? The eligibility requirements, if you don't fall under seasonal workers, persons who suffered from calamities, then you wouldn't be over-dependent to it. There is a requirement. So why are we afraid of this risk? If this is not a personal need to you, do not deprive or strip it away from those who are in badly need of it. It might not be a personal need to us, but someone out there is its only means of survival.
Thank you so much. I have a question for the third speaker. You mentioned earlier that it is a state requirement. Now, can you name any country where nationwide permanent cash for work law is financially sustainable?
We have to base on our law first, right?
Can
we
you
have
name-
to depend on our Constitution. Section 9,
Can you name
Article
a
2 of the
country?
Constitution is a legal mandate.
Can you name a country?
We have to depend on our own laws before we are going to cite other laws.
So
By
you
the
admit
doctrine
that
of
there is no
incorporation.
international model that proves the
Sorry, Council, but that argument
proposal
is
is viable.
Afghanistanism, which
Next
means that
question,
you're citing
please.
an argument that doesn't apply to the
So I have a
Filipino
next
realities
question.
and
Yes or
aspirations of the
no?
Filipinos.
Tupad only offers temporary job, correct?
Miss Speaker, you cannot rely on international laws right now because our reality of the
Next, I have already moved on from that. So next question, Tupad, yes or no? Tupad only offers temporary job, correct?
That is the reason why we are going
Is it
to
correct? It's a
institutionalize
yes or
it.
no
We are
question.
going to make it a law because
It's
it
a
is
yes or no
temporary.
question, please.
Yes, because
Yes.
it is
So
temporary.
temporary
we are
job
going
do
to
not
make it a
solve
law.
long-term unemployment. So if
Can
we
you
are
repeat your question? Can you repeat?
then we are just wasting time. 90 days of trials of
That is the reason why we are institutionalizing TUPAD. We have to extend it.
Okay, grabe naman ang sagupaan, ang sagutan. Talagang pangmalakasan, gaya ng hiyawan. Pero sa oras na ito, ang Team Affirmative naman ang sasabak. It's your turn now.
Council, if you really listen to our mechanism, you should know that we have established livelihood programs for long-term economic empowerment. Don't you think that is favorable and affirms our argument? Yes or no, Council?
No. Why? Because
Yes or no only, Council?
no. Because the mechanism that you are proposing mandates that the people...
You cited that there's risk of over-dependency, Council. But to that, you're still stating that
it is still a no answer
there are
from
no
us.
long-term
Because
effects.
first and
You're making it
foremost,
seem that there
why
are no
would you
long-term
put
effects,
something
Council?
very temporary on our system? And then you'll ask it to
that is
be
why we want to make it permanent and
sustainable.
statutory.
Then why not make another law for it and just put on the TUPAD program, which is first and foremost on its bill, is temporary. Thank you.
An exclusive one. Okay, Council, proceeding to the next question. Thank you.
Okay, my question is, do you believe that TUPAD is a good program? Do you believe that TUPAD is a good program?
Although yes, it benefits most of the people, it poses a large security risk or a large financial risk to our country. In what sense?
Okay. So are you saying that because of the law is plagued with flaws and corruption, so we just let an opportunity to improve it?
The problem with the government side is that they're looking at the short term and not looking on the long term. There are already mandates that provides the poor people with assistance that they need.
That the law is always subject for flaws. Even
Ms.
our
Speaker,
constitution
Filipinos
is
needed
subject for
cure,
flaws.
not a band-aid. So
You
do not
are-
propose something that's very temporary for us. Thank you.
Council, we already stated about permanence and statutorily mandate. So what are you saying, temporariness? It's counterproductive to our claim.
Permanence, then you should revise the whole law itself and not call it TUPAD anymore.
This is precisely the intention of the law. We have to make it institutionalized. We have to make it a law so that those flaws will be corrected.
So that means
means you're gonna put something so faulty instead of fixing it first before legislating it?
Sorry, I have to ask my question. Are you aware that in the implementation of TUPAD, we have already spent billions of pesos? Yes or no?
Yes, but
Yes, because in your argument a while ago, you have been reiterating to us that this is very expensive. Policy is very expensive. Where would you put your funds? In a temporary program, or in a law that also entails the same cost?
Ms. Speaker, it's much more better to put funds into something that benefits the Filipino people for the long term, not onto something that is a band-aid solution that will not give them an upskilling and will not give them a permanent career. Madam Speaker, I acknowledge that you are looking out for the Filipinos who are very poor in the state of they're in after a pandemic or an emergency. However, it is not a solution because there are already mandates in our laws that
Ang tindi talaga ng mga sagutan. Nalito na ako kung sino yung nagtatanong, sino yung nagsasagot. Very informative naman and very eye-opening. Ito yung klase ng talakayan na may sense, may respeto at may impact rin. Kaya naman, kumustahin natin ang ating mga panel. Kumusta na kaya sila? What's your reaction po sa kanilang naging interpellation? Councilor Ziv?
Napakagaling. Napakahusay sa edad nyong yan. Alam na alam ninyo. Palapakan yung mga sarili ninyo. Pati kami tatlo rito naguguluhan kung sino pa dapat. Isa patas ba o ito pa talaga ay dapat natigilan na ano. Siguro in my own point of view, no, as an elected official, as a barangay captain, as a councilor now, no, nakita ko at naramdaman ko ang kagandahan ng TUPAD. No? Nakita at nabasa ko rin kung ano yung mga laws, policies o yung mga dapat nakunin o beneficiaries ng isang pagkakinabang isang ito. Siguro sa puntong ito, with my own observation also, dapat talaga may ngipin sa bawat ginagawa nating batas o alituto yung programa sa ating komunidad, sa ating barangay, even in our cities or the whole nation approach natin. So, again, it's time for me to choose, in my own opinion, dapat ba na-institutionalize or not? O dapat ba nating i-consider yung damdamin ng mga the poorest of the poor o kailangan mag-argument tayo sa tamang pagsiling at pagkuha ng mga tamang beneficiaries sa programang ito. So muli, congratulations, Pamantasan Lungsod ng Maynila. Ang gagaling, ang huhusay po ninyo. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Councilor Ziv. Para naman sa ating second panelist, Professor Concepcion.
Medyo kinakabahan ako kanina no? Pero nailatag ng maayos, no? Pero tingnan natin, magandang makita rin, no, yung gaano kalinaw talaga ang pagdidefine ng institutionalization ng TUPAD, no, sa konteksto na tinalakay kanina. At ano yung mga specific components talaga ng TUPAD na sa tingin natin ay makakatulong, no, sa expansion man yan or legislation. Tapos, magandang tingnan din sana, may mga nabanggit kanina, challenges or gaps, pero ano ba yung mga mabibigat, no, na mga kahinaan or major weaknesses na meron ang kasalukuyang pag-implement ng TUPAD sa ngayon? Baka magandang tingnan din yun. And of course, paano bang ang pag-institutionalize nito or pagsasabi ng legislation ay talagang makakatulong, no, para sa pag-address ng mga ilan sa mga nabanggit kanina. Maganda rin tingnan gaano ba magiging ka-epektibo ang programa ng TUPAD kung ito ay isa sa batas, no, o pananatilihin na isa lamang sa mga programa ng DOLE. Magandang tingnan, of course, yung binabanggit kanina na short term lamang ito. Pero sa kabila, sinasabi rin na kaya natin inalalatag ngayon na ma-institutionalize siya upang mabigyan ng sapat na pondo. No? Pero sabi nga natin, hindi lamang ito yung mga kailangan nating tingnan. Maaaring tingnan din natin yung usapin ng pangmatagalan ba ito at yung usapin ng pondo, no? At anong gaano ito nakakatulong talaga sa komunidad, no? Because sabi nga natin, ang palagi pa rin na dapat nating iniisip ay ang kapakanan at para sa mga tao talaga sa komunidad. So sa tingin ko, baka pag-aralan din natin yon.
And last but not the least, para sa ating huling panelist, Dr. Marilyn, ano pong masasabi ninyo?
Ayan, congratulations sa ating mga debaters, no? Habang kanina nagkakaroon kayo ng argumento, ang dami kong natutunan. So, ang dami kong sinulat na points dito para maipresent din sa inyo. So, kung usaping pag-institutionalize or hindi ba ang programang tupad ng gobyerno, siguro ang pinakamagandang tingnan natin dito, ang dami kasing na-address na issues and concern. So siguro yun yung una nating tingnan, ano? Paano ba natin i-address yung issues on accountability system? And which includes yung mga nabanggit ninyo, no? Yung verification ng qualified beneficiaries. That includes, minsan kasi meron tayong mga political influences or bias. No? Minsan ang nakikita natin dun sa mga nakalista or sa programa ay yung mga kamag-anak ng mga politiko, mga kakilala, no, kasama sa alyansa nila. So siguro isa yon sa kailangan i-address. Pangalawa, sa accountability system na narinig ko sa inyo, yung monitoring and verification ng mga qualified na tao na papasok dun sa programang tupad. At ang isa pa sigurong issue ng accountability and accountability system na nabanggit niyong paulit-ulit is yung transparency. Paano natin gagamitin lalo na yung mga kaso ng fund mismanagement? Kasi ayaw natin masayang ang pondo ng bayan na nanggagaling sa saan? Sa taxes ng taong bayan. And another point na aking nakita at natutunan, no? To ensure yung strict adherence sa guidelines para mag-guarantee natin yung aid kung sino ba talaga yung mga nangangailangan nito. Ayun. So, congratulations, napakadaming puntos, napakagagaling ninyo.
Maraming salamat sa ating mga panelists. Ang hirap talaga ng trabaho ng ating mga panelists dahil bukod sa nakakatuwang palitan ng mga iba't ibang impormasyon, nakita natin ang bawat punto mula sa ating mga kasamang mga kabataan. Masyadong tight na tight talaga itong laban. Kaya sino naman yung magniningning kaya dito sa ating mga debaters? Now, it's time for our panel to deliberate. But before that, makikibalita muna ulit tayo kay Faith para sa iba pang mga update. Faith!
Yes, Princess! Kanina akala ko kalmado tong debate na to, pero no! Wait, there's more! Napapapadyak pa sila! Sobrang nagiinit, sobrang nagbabaga, at sobrang unbelievable. Like guys, paano yung unbelievable in 3, 2, 1? Grabe, di ba? Kaya ngayon gusto ko malaman yung reaction eh. Reaction, ayan, tabihan ko si ate. Ate, ano reaction mo? Tell me your name first and then reaction.
Ako po si Kath. And yung naging reaction ko po with the interpellation is very torn with the, sa mga arguments ng dalawang sides natin. Kasi yung mechanism na in-offer ng affirmative is very good. But there will be or there can be a side na it's too good to be true and baka magkaroon ng feasibility and sustainability issues doon sa mechanisms. While sa negative naman, hindi rin dapat kasi tayo I agree na hindi dapat nagre-rely on international models kasi it may not be compatible with different aspects of the Philippines katulad na lang ng kultura, ng government structures and the like. So I'm really torn because both presented good arguments and we'll see na lang sa closing remarks. Yun lang.
Oh, thank you so much, Kath. Ako din, torn. Kaya ngayon, ito naman, siya naman tatanungin ko, what's your name?
Ano po, Sabrina Alfaro po.
Hello, Sabrina. Let me know your reaction.
Yung naging reaction ko, first off, grabe sobrang heated. Para bang talagang gumagano na po Pero as an audience po, I am looking for one thing, and that is the debaters, I expect them not just to imply all the facts but also convince us with the facts given. And yung yung requirement ko po na yun, I mean, what I'm expecting, yung expectation ko po with regards the debaters, I found that dun sa part ng affirmative side. Because they stick to what they have. Kung ano man yung nakalatag sa kanila, hindi lang sila nagsabi ng facts, ito ganyan, but also they use that facts to convince a specific a perception about this audience. And the fact na nung tinanong po yung negative side na do you think Tupad is a good program? So sinabi po ng negative na although yes, so what does that imply? So anong gusto mo talagang ipaglaban? So parang medyo naguluhan lang po in some certain areas. Thank you!
Thank you so much, Sabrina. Parehas sila, no, na talagang pinakinggan nilang mabuti yung both sides. And guys, ayan, binigyan kayo ng chance nila na to convince them pa. Let's go, let's get it, guys. Pero ngayon, pakinggan natin yung reacts mula sa ating online community. Sang-ayon si Tali Fontanilla at sinabing, pero dapat siguraduhin din na hindi ito magamit sa pamumulitika, kundi tunay na para sa mga manggagawang nangangailangan. Hindi naman pabor si Samantha Duane at sinabing, lalo lang darami ang tamad. Hoy, ang harsh nun ah. Para kay Cookie Crumbles naman, yummy nung pangalan ah. Hindi ako pabor kasi pansamantala lang namang solusyon yan. Karamihan pa ay umaasa lang sa programa na yan. Dapat ang ibinibigay sa mga Pilipino ay pang matagalan na para bang love life to. Charis. Ayun naman sa Facebook comment ni Rico Roses, pabor, kung ma-institutionalize ito, mas magiging sustainable, transparent at consistent ang pagpapatupad at mas madali ring ma-monitor kung saan napupunta ang pondo. At yan na muna, Princess. Back to you!
Maraming salamat, Faith. Naku, huwag kayong bibitiw dahil magbabalik pa ang Balitaktakan, Tinig ng Kinabukasan.
Pabor ako doon kasi nagkakaroon sila ng trabaho, di ba? Kahit papaano, kumita sila ng kahit kunti lang. May pambili sila ng bigas sa bahay nila.
Hindi po. Kasi pansamantala lang din po yun at saka hindi po nakakatulong dahil yung iba po tinuturuan maging tamad ang mga Pilipino. At aasa lang po sa bigay ng Diyos.
Hindi ako nakakapabor kasi nga sa tinagal-tagal ko ng in-apply ng mga ganyang trabaho, hindi ako nakakasali.
Tuwing katanghalian, ikaw ang una sa balita. Nasa lansangan ka man o tahanan, maging una sa mahalagang usapin. Una sa may init na issue at una sa malinaw at direktang ulat. Nahatid ng pinagsamang lakas na mga mamamahayag mula sa Congress TV at IBC 13. Kasama sina Sai Chua, Naj Miravalles at Greg Gregorio. Alauna sa balita. Panoorin live mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, 1:00 ng hapon sa Congress TV Digital at IBC 13.
Nagbabalik ang Balitaktakan, Tinig ng Kinabukasan. Nandito na nga tayo sa pinakauling yugto ng ating Balitaktakan. This is the moment of truth. Ano nga ba ang final say nila sa ating Balitaktakan? Take it away, Team Affirmative.
3 days left. Tupad coordinator has announced. Juan de la Cruz gripped the broom and swept the road. It was his last 3 days as Tupad beneficiary. He feared the program's end more than the labor itself. He constantly calculated. This short pay would cover the rent. But what about next month? Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today because we will not accept temporary aid for Filipinos anymore. We demand institutionalization of Tupad, built in law, built in stability, and built in dignity. That leads us out of poverty. The 10 to 90 days are over. The true work must begin now. Let those who have less in life have more in law. That would be all.
Maraming salamat, Team Affirmative. Now, pakinggan naman natin ang Team Negative.
Honorable panelists, esteemed judges, ladies and gentlemen, the government stands here today offering what sounds like a compassion, but what they truly offer is a trap disguised as a help. They want to legislate a program that gives a few days of work, a few peso of relief, and a lifetime of dependency. But poverty cannot be solved with temporary brooms and shovel. Poverty is solved with skills, industries, real jobs, and long-term empowerment. Institutionalizing tupad does not create opportunity. It creates temporary work. It does not eliminate unemployment. It only hides them for 90 days. It does not prevent corruption. It gives corrupt actors a permanent legal playground. And worst of all, it diverts billions away from programs that actually lift people out of poverty. Educationally, the government wants to let
Tunay nga na talaga hanggang dulo bawat argumento nananatili ang tibay at ganda ng bawat punto. May laban din yan hanggang sa dulo. Kaya naman sino ba sa ating mga debaters ang nananaig pagdating sa talino, composure at conviction? In terms of content, reasoning, delivery, presentation at audience impact, ang nakakuha ng 92.67% ay si... Congratulations, Drew Clarence Basadre, ang ating best debater. Ikaw ang patunay na ang kabataan may boses, may tapang at saysay. Congratulations, Drew. Ating best debating team goes to... Congratulations, Team Affirmative from the College of Law, Moot and Debate Society. Call Mr. Robert Sombilio to receive the plaque and certificate of appreciation. Maraming salamat po sa Pamantasan Lungsod ng Maynila, and of course for the students giving their time and effort for this program. Talagang solid na solid yung bakbakan ng debaters natin. Ang daming mic drop moments, pero ang pinaka-importante, ibinakita ng ating mga kabataan na may paki sila sa mga nangyayari sa paligid sa ating bansa.
Ibang klase talaga ang energy at talino na dala ng mga estudyante dito sa PLM. At salamat din sa ating live audience at sa online community na active sa pagbibigay ng reactions, comments at talagang nakisali sa Balitaktakan.
Abangan nyo ang pagdedebatehan natin sa next episode at makakasama natin muli si Kuya Jude Asidre.
Dahil dito sa Balitaktakan, hindi lang tayo nagpapalitan ng opinyon at perspektibo. Inaalam din natin ang pulso at reaksyon ng taong bayan. Ako po si Faith Santiago.
At pinakikinggan din ang boses ng kabataan dahil ang bawat argumento may punto. Ako po si Princess Jordan at ito ang
Balitaktakan, Tinig ng Kinabukasan.